Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Well, we've made it through a couple of snow days so far and no accidents on our part, so kudos to you guys. Lots of other accidents on the roads that we're dodging, but thankfully none of ours. But unfortunately, weather's not going to stop. They're calling for about another ½ inch of slush and crap overnight tonight, so be prepared for some slow going tomorrow. In the event of really bad inclement weather, school closings, just so everybody's on the same page. First priority is always going to try and be an in-person day. So even if snow is coming down, expect that you are probably going to be coming into work unless you get a robocall from the district or a text message from me saying that, which it won't come from my number. It's our automated thing that I put in. You'll get a text message that says you're not coming into work. So unless you get one of those, expect that you are coming into work that day. If the weather is bad, but it looks like it's going to improve, we'll do a late start, which is a 2-hour late start. And that applies to everybody. Doesn't matter if you're Geneva, Canelan Bus, Metro Prep, doesn't matter. It'll be a 2-hour late start. So if your clock in is 7:36, your clock in time will be 8:36. It will be 2 hours exactly different. Or 9:36, sorry. Apparently I can't do math this morning. So it'll be a 2-hour exact difference. And same thing, you'll get a text message for that one saying we are pulling a 2-hour late start. So come in exactly 2 hours later for everybody. If the weather is such that we decide we cannot transport kids safely, like I said, you'll get a robocall and a text message, and that will cancel school for everyone. Doesn't matter which school you are driving for. If we can't drive the kids that live in Mill Creek to Mill Creek Elementary School, we're not going to take them all the way out to Metro Prep. Yeah.
What time would they come?
What time would you get that robocall? That's usually sent out. Dr. Barrett likes to try and make that decision by like 5 in the morning. So you guys are going to get an early notification from me that says we're not having school, and the district will send out another one. So you'll get a phone call and a text message. As long as the correct phone number, your phone number is in your Skyward account, then you will get a call from the district. More often than not, it will probably be an e-learning day. The district has gotten very good at, when we are predicting bad weather, they send laptops and stuff home with the kids. E-learning days, we do not make up. Snow days, we do. So if they do an e-learning day, what will happen is you guys will stay home and we will send you out training that you guys will have to complete by the end of the day. I usually set it that we send it out first thing in the morning about 7 a.m. and we say it's got to be done by 5 p.m. We give you basically all day to get it done, and you get paid for your route as if you were here. We also give you guys the written material to go along with said quiz. So there's no reason that anybody shouldn't pass it. We make it very easy for you. I'm not there babysitting you. I can't say that it's not an open book test. I don't know what you're doing.
Is it multiple guess?
It's multiple choice. However, generally we state that it is 3 attempts because we can see how many times you've tried it. Because in the past, people have taken it 9 times trying to get the 100%. So we limited it to 3 attempts. You got to get at least an 80 or higher. Let's see. Important dates are up on the hub along with blackout dates, and Kendall has been emailing them out. The big ones for this year is winter break starts at the end of the day next Friday. We start winter break for 2 weeks. The 19th is our last day before break. On the last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is finals for the high school. High school only, so it is not just a general early dismissal. Only people with a high school route, you guys instead of running your high school route at your normal time, you would run it in the middle of the day. On Wednesday, the 17th, they let out at 12:50. On Thursday, it's 11:10. And Friday, it's 11:20. Again, that's only if you have a high school route. If you have an elementary, you run at the exact same time. Yes,
That applies to sped routes too.
that applies to sped routes as well. But the time might be a little bit different from those ones, but yes, that does apply to high school sped routes.
This was sent out last week.
So it might be hard to read, but Brandy sent out the final schedule, so all of you should have a sheet in your email that has what your clock-in time is for the high school, and then below that is the clock-in time for your next route, whether that's a high school or a middle school route, depending on your route specifically, with your name next to it.
At the top of it also states that, yes, they get out at a certain time, but the buses won't be leaving until the next time.
If you can't make that high school midday for some reason, you need to let us know ASAP so we can work on getting that covered. There is only one school running over break next week, or those next 2 weeks, and that is Metro Prep. So, all of you have a wonderful break after next week. You guys all get 2 weeks off, which doesn't happen very often.
It's all the same, it's never the same.
It's hit or miss each year. Our holiday luncheon will be next week, Tuesday, December 16th at noon. So if you haven't, please RSVP and sign up for a dish to pass or bring something, help with setup, whatever. That's in Kendall's nightly email that she sends out is the link for that. RTB or post trips. I just want to bring this up because while I was filling in for Kelly over the last few days, a lot of people aren't calling that they're empty. So a few years ago, they made it mandatory when the federal government stepped in and kind of took over. If you guys remember, all the clearinghouse and all that stuff kind of changed. They said that we had to keep track of when you guys are empty. We have to keep a log of it in case they decide to audit us, just like we have to do with your guys' checking in the morning, making sure your radio works. We don't ask you to do a radio check just because we like hearing your voice in the morning. It's because we have to keep a log because we can get audited to make sure that we're doing it. So the easiest way, instead of spending a god-awful amount of hours trying to watch your videos to make sure you guys are doing your post-trip, making sure you're checking for kids, is just to have you guys call out that you're returning to base or RTV. We trust you guys. I believe you guys are doing your checks. So I'm not gonna sit there and watch all your videos, but you guys gotta call in that you're empty. I understand there are times that there are dead zones or your radio's not working. As long as you are making an attempt, we'll accept that. But there were people that just weren't doing it outright. If you make it back here with a student on board and you leave your bus, it is grounds for immediate termination, and it is classified by the federal government as a felony, which could end up with jail time and massive fines. So, just want to put that out there. You have to check your bus. As it was brought up yesterday, if you're on a busy road and don't have great places to stop, you have a couple of options. One is, one of the specific areas that was brought up was the LaFox Road area. If you're dropping off kids over in Mulhern and you've got 3 kids on LaFox you have to drop off, when you're in Mulhern, walk your bus and pull those kids up to the front so you know exactly who's left. Because between here and LaFox, there really isn't anywhere other than maybe Mill Creek Elementary to pull over, but at that point, you're 2 minutes down the road anyways. If you're on Fabian, pull in, or on Caneville or something, do one of those, pull into Peck Farm or something and do your child check. Just find somewhere remotely close to your last stop and pull over and do your check, if you're not able to do it at your last stop. Any questions so far on anything? Please make sure that your elementary kids are sitting in their correct seats, or if you change your seating chart, you're updating Kelly. The middle, or elementary schools have been pulling a lot of videos lately because Thanksgiving break apparently wasn't enough, and the kids came back even more ramped up than they were before break. So there's been a lot of video pulls.
They had extra Halloween.
And then we've been hearing from the principals that their charts aren't matching, and so we're trying to figure out what's going on. If it's just on their end, our end, what's going on. Some of you may have seen me over at the high school on Friday afternoon. I was trying to figure out some situation with the high school on claiming our buses were being aggressive drivers and pulling up too early and stuff, and we were getting that situated. But I did find out that the high school has been letting you guys go at 2:52 every day. All of your route sheets say 2:54, and I get it, it's only 2 minutes. But as all of you know, as bus drivers, 2 minutes makes a big difference sometimes. So, if you are in first wave for the high school, the leave time is 2:52, or if you're covering a route, it is 2:52. You guys can leave the high school. If you're in that second wave on Lincoln, waiting to pull up, you guys can pull up early on McKinley, but no earlier than 2:49. They're trying to get as much of the parent traffic out of there before you guys kind of come up there and kind of clog it up a little bit, because you got parents on the other side, then buses on one side, and it turns it into a one-lane road.
Where's this at?
This is right next to the high school on McKinley. So one of the second waves stages on Lincoln, but they've been pulling up early on McKinley to get ready to pull into the wave, kind of like the people that stage on Center Street get to. Well, they've been pulling up a little too early, and it's been bottlenecking the road, and parents are struggling to get out, and then the buses are still struggling to get in, and it creates a problem.
So is it 2:52 or 2:54?
2:52. Our route sheets say 2:54. It is 2:52. We have to adjust the.
Every day, 2:54.
No, we have to adjust it. It is 2:52, is what I was told.
That's when we pull out.
Correct, that's when first wave pulls out, is 2:52. Special needs students. We've been getting a lot of requests to call in for students, to see if they're there. We cannot call in for every single parent every morning. Because what happens is they get into a habit and they use us like an alarm clock to know the bus is out there. The parents are told every year that for special needs student, we wait 2 minutes from whatever their designated time is. So as long as you are on time, you wait your 2 minutes, and then you can go. You can call in and say, if you're worried about the parents complaining about it, you can call in and say, I waited my time, I'm moving on. But we're not gonna call the families and start a habit of being their alarm clock for them. Because then they're not ready for you guys, because they're waiting for us to call to say you're there. If you're early, yeah, you're gonna have to sit there until it's their time and then start your 2 minutes. If you're late, then the 2 minutes starts when you get there. At the school, the teachers should be able to tell you if the kids are there or not, but the max we wait at any school is 10 minutes. And generally, that's supposed to be for the kids that are they're struggling to get out the door because of whatever behavior, because that is, if they can't get them out within 10 minutes, then they're probably not safe to be on the bus to begin with. Let's see, fueling. When you're fueling at the pumps, please do not back up. That is an accident waiting to happen, and the last thing I need is someone backing up into a fuel dispenser or tank or anything like that. Propane buses, I know it was asked yesterday, well, can't we back up? Well, you shouldn't have to pull all the way up to the curb to be able to fuel. I've had other drivers test it, and I've gotten in the bus and checked it myself. You do not need to be blocking both lanes of the exit lane to fuel your propane bus. So you shouldn't have to back up at all. Snow plowing was brought up yesterday and people were kind of curious as to how we were working that. So fortunately, most of the snow we've gotten has been on the weekend to where the guys move your buses out of the way and they do it on their time and get everything cleared out. On a school day, however, we don't have time because O&M is short. We've only got who we've got here on our staff doing it. We do not have time to move the buses that are in the center of the parking lot. So what happens is we plow all around them, and as soon as you guys leave, we clear all that snow out of the way. That means that if you are in a sped bus that clocks in later, if we have a snow event day where there's snow on the ground, you can't park in those middle lots until we get it all cleared. I know some of you guys park in the center so that you don't have to walk as far back all the way to the end. But if there's no buses, just pull into their bays or something, because we need to get that center part cleared out. And then if it's snowing on a field trip for on the weekend, please park your car in the bay you got your bus out of. We had a car that parked behind a bay over this past weekend and then took their keys with them, so we couldn't even move it. When you do that, then you're in everybody's way for snow plowing and we can't clear everything. And last but not least is the gift cards for Harrison and the gifts for Cal's Angels. They are due the 16th, the day of the party, just so that we have time to get them to where they need to go and they can dispense them before Christmas. And we did have one request, Sue Iwan, the one who does the Cal's Angels for us and takes it. Just wanted to remind everybody that Cal's Angels, it's not our policy, it's theirs, does not accept stuffed animals. She saw a stuffed animal in there, just wanted to give you guys that, they will not accept those. That is not our policy, that's theirs. So if you put the stuffed animal in there, please take it back and give it to your grandchild, someone else's child, whoever. But we can't accept they're just gonna end up getting rid of it. Don't want it to be a waste. Any questions on anything? Yep.
Is it possible to level the snow pile?
I put in a request for that yesterday, but that all comes through O&M because they're the one with the tractor. So I'm waiting to see what happens with that. But I did put that in because somebody asked me about it yesterday, and when I went to leave with my own car, I couldn't see around without being dang near out in the main lane. So, any other questions? Did I miss anything that was brought up yesterday?
Who's the bass player?
Who's what?
Dwayne, the bass.
Oh,
It's my computer.
that's our computer.
So I'm getting emails or something, so
Oh.
I tried closing everything out, but it still keeps going.
All right, well then I'm gonna pass it off to Brandy, who's going to go over inclement weather with you guys.
Alright. So, let's see. Some key points, challenges for inclement weather. Obvious ones, we got snow, ice, rain, fog, all of which we've all gotten most recently in the last couple weeks. Some important safety measures that we want to go over are being proactive safety measures, continuous training, preventing accidents and ensuring student safety. And then we want to, as drivers, be vigilant and prepare to handle adverse conditions to protect students and prevent accidents. Understanding weather hazards. So, I'm gonna switch over to this one now. Yes, I have many slides. So, what are some ways that you each prepare yourself for the cold mornings? Anybody? Warm clothes. Anybody else?
Leave early.
Leave early. Okay. I warm my car all the time. So you warm up your buses. I know Jeremy tries to warm up your guys' buses if you can, if for pain they don't. Driver preparedness. You want to plan ahead. You can check the local television stations. You can subscribe to any text alerts, weather channels. In the office, we now have the weather bug that is stationed out from middle school. So if you guys wanted to see the weather, you can see it there. I tried getting the weather bug out here on the monitor. They told me no. I tried getting live feed embedded. They said no. So they're working on another strategy where every 10 minutes, it will turn off my slide and switch to the weather. So it was supposed to be done before Thanksgiving. We're still working on it. So that's what's called back for the first of the year. The weather will be out here also. I know you all have phones, so you can check your apps. But again, knowing the weather prior, again, being prepared. Get adequate rest, dress appropriately. Like you said, dress warm weather, especially footwear. So making sure that we have rubber-soled shoes, making sure that we are not, I know I like to wear my dress shoes, but I don't wear them here. And then leave yourself extra time. Get up earlier, leave plenty of travel time to get to work, and then expect delays. I know that we can't give you guys extra time to travel, like clock in early and then leave. I know though, we give you 2 pre-trip times, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. In the afternoon, if you know it's gonna be snowing, I know most of you guys don't do your pre-trip, but do your quick walk around and then you guys can leave early, you're on the clock still. If we know that the weather's gonna be bad, we do send out that notification saying that you can clock in early, meaning everybody. And then we're giving you that extra time to get to your schools or get to your destinations where you have to go. With that being said, if we do give those times to you, that's not for you to sit here a little bit longer to chit chat with the coworkers. That is to get into your bus and get to your destinations in a timely manner. Always expect time changes and delays. Again, field trips we can't help. We try to do our best as we can. I know over the weekend, some trips were being canceled a lot earlier than we were supposed to. Some trips got canceled 2 weeks ago. We tried sending notifications out as soon as we can. But again, always expect delays when it comes to the weather. Plan for detours on your routes. I mean, even with construction right now, I know a lot of you have already had to reroute your routes many times. Same thing with weather. If you guys know something's gonna happen, or there's gonna be a delay somewhere else, have an alternative route already prepared for yourself. Letting us know on the radio that you're rerouting, you can. Again, but it's expected with bad weather, accidents. A couple weeks ago, everybody was rerouting. We can try as best you can. I had to log in live on a couple drivers to help them get through. We'll try our best to help you, but again, knowing your routes and your alternatives is the best thing. Expect vehicle accidents, which may cause a delay on your route. Limit extra distractions. Explain to the passengers that your attention is needed on the road more than ever. And then mentally prepare for changes in normal routine. Some things that we have noticed, again, Matt had mentioned that we've been watching video cameras on a lot of buses recently. And some things that we have noticed is speed management. And I'm actually going to do that in the computer. Not yet. All right, I'll come back to my speed management because we're watching videos and there's some things that we need to be careful with. Your vehicle. What do you guys do to prepare your vehicle? So I know yourselves, you're going to dress warm, but to prepare your vehicle, what do we do?
Make sure the windows
Warm it
are
up.
clean.
You're gonna warm it up, your windows are cleared,
Snow off the
Check the tires, tires for sure.
lights.
making sure your lights are cleared. So again, obviously, pre-trips we do all the time, but we wanna make sure extra vigilant about them, making sure they're cleared off. Prepare your school bus prior to the snow days. Again, we try to get the plows in here. You wanna make sure your windows are defrosted, make sure all your defrosters work. What if your defroster is not working in the front? What can you do to your bus to help defrost those windows?
Put a fan on. Open the window.
Wipe it with the leftover glove some kid left.
That helps, it works, you got it. Ensure safe start procedure. With the diesel buses, they are equipped with the intake heater, turn on the ignition, start. Diesel buses, we know. I know most of us in here are small buses, but take extra time on your pre-trip inspection. Space special, like you guys said, your tires, your brakes. A couple times last week on our field trips, we were not prepared for our field trips. Some things we got were, can you meet me at this location? My wipers don't work. Okay. If we would have used our time beforehand, he said he noticed it when he was in town. thought he fixed it. I don't know what they did, because when they got back on the road, they broke. So then they delayed the field trip, and then they made a decision on their own to extend their field trip. Just a word of advice, you are not allowed to extend a field trip. It needs to be approved by the office. So if your field trip is delayed, and this is during the week, on the weekends, we can't do anything for it, like, your field trip is what it is, but most of these educational ones have to be back by a certain time. So again, if he was prepared for his trip, we would have delayed it. So making sure your wipers work prior to leaving, making sure your doors, your washer fluid, you've got enough fuel. Another one we got a call, we got somebody upset because they weren't ready for the field trip because there was no fuel. Past couple days, we've had problems with the fuel tanks, propane and the other one, both of them. They were both problems. Yesterday, there was an alarm going on. We had to shut down the pumps until they could come and fix them. Being prepared for those things. We don't know. With the weather, we don't know if they're gonna work or if they're not gonna work. For the most part, they should. We have them inspected. I said, but you guys gotta be prepared. A lot of people were waiting until they were a quarter of a tank or half a tank. And somebody said, well, one of the subs got into a bus and, well, they usually fill up on Thursday and they were at a quarter of a tank. Again, I know we can't predict that we're gonna be absent or anything like that, but we should be waiting that low, especially in the winter times. Okay? Making sure your heaters work, clear snow. If you don't have, I don't know if everybody has snow brushes in their buses, but on weekends, you gotta make sure you have your snow brush. If you don't have one, let us know, and we'll make sure we have one for the weekends. I always check the engine compartments, making sure everything works, everything's working condition. I didn't go about it. What are some issues this driver may encounter if they drove this bus in other conditions? Mm-hmm.
Snow on the hood.
So in the hood.
Where was snow?
So I mean, I don't really know if his wipers are fully working because we got the snow there. The lights
They're
aren't
up,
cut,
aren't
huh?
They're up,
Correct.
yeah.
I mean, he's currently brushing off everything, but I know our company does not have the cleaner on the roof and everything, which Kelly and I would like to have. But anyways, the best of our abilities, we gotta clean out that snow. But again, it's just something to look at. When starting your route, we already talked about this. This is all pre-trip. We all know how to pre-trip our buses, okay? Yes, I'm gonna skip through. All right, what light is this? All right, what are the steps we should follow if this light illuminates on your dashboard? That's what I told Kelly. I said, you guys will call out and say base ABS is on. All right, braking. Beware of shaded spots, bridges, overpasses, intersections. These are areas where the ice is likely to form. With conventional brakes, turn the steering wheel in a controlled manner, look in the direction you want the vehicle to go, and pump the brakes. For anti-lock brakes, keep your foot on the brake pedal, maintaining firm and continuous pressure while steering the direction you want to go. The ABS brakes will feel pulsations to the brake. Do not pump the brakes. Let the ABS do its job. And then when you're going downhill, go down in the lower gear, but we don't have that. What are 4 types of vehicle skids? No. We got over braking. So braking too hard and locking up the wheels. Skids also can occur when using the speed retarder when the road is slippery. Oversteering. So steering the wheels more sharply than the vehicle can turn. We got over acceleration, supplying too much power to the drive wheels, causing them to spin. And then driving too fast. Most serious skids result from driving too fast for road conditions. Drivers who adjust their driving to conditions do not over accelerate and do not have the over brake or oversteering. That being said, now speed management. While we were watching videos, we are noticing that drivers are going fast in our subdivisions to where they are not able to stop at those stop signs, and we're rolling through them. Many, many times. And multiple drivers, I couldn't tell you how many times that you are rolling through your stop signs. if you are being vigilant to your speed and you guys are slowing down, especially in these subdivisions, not just 38 or Randall, these are in our subdivisions, Mill Creek, over there, on the east side, can't think of the roads right now, there's a subdivision where people are going 25 in a 15 or 20. So some people are even going for 30, so. We are rolling through stoplights. We're not even stopping at a red light. We're just going through. We were called on 2 incidences where we drivers were the cause of an accident almost, because we went through a stoplight. We can only control ourselves, we cannot control the other drivers. Another incident where we were going about 30, 35 down Fisher. Granted, the person who did this to us, again, somebody else we couldn't control. But it was a parent, ended up cutting off our driver, went in front of our driver and slammed on the brakes. Okay? So again, we can't control them, but we can control us. We were lucky, the area that we were at, we were able to stop the vehicle, we did not hit him or anything. But if it would have been slightly, a second or few later, because when that person got out of his vehicle, he almost fell because he was sitting on ice. Okay? So again, we can't control other people, but we can control us. So if we were going slowing down, those seconds when he stopped the bus, we were able to not cause an accident. But that could have been a completely different scenario. Okay? So watching our speed, especially in this weather, we don't know if it's going to be slippery, ice. Not all of I say Mill Creek because their roads were never plowed in the videos. But Geneva doesn't always plow all their side streets. Okay. What is adequate following distance during snowy and icy weather?
2 miles.
What?
It's miles.
2 miles.
They're looking for a time frame.
8
So,
seconds?
well, normally it's 4 seconds,
Yeah, so double that, right?
but in this weather, we want 6 seconds.
Oh,
I would go further. I don't know, I was following somebody today on Dry Road and a school bus was going 15 under the speed limit. But that's a little too slow for me, especially on dry roads. I was trying to be nice because I work with all of you guys, I understand, but it was just too slow for me. And then I had somebody who was actually riding my bike. Like I couldn't even see like they were so close to me behind me. So as well in Oswego, 2 different buses, 2 different areas. So different drivers everywhere we go. But again, you want to give yourself enough distance between you and the other vehicle, a little bit more than if it was on a dry road. What is the height of your bus?
12 feet.
You didn't know, where would you find that information out on your bus? It's right there, in the, above your head, yep.
Yeah.
So, when snow builds on the ground, buses lose roof clearance. When in doubt, stop and check. And then know where you can find your height on the bus when you operate it. So, mostly, I mean, Geneva shouldn't be this problem, but if you guys are on field trips, we never know where we're going. So if you guys see bridges and everything, make sure that you guys know your height, especially if you have snow on top of it. What signal do you give your students that is safe to approach or to cross the street?
Thumbs
Okay. Do you guys talk to your students during this weather about different signals?
Oh,
Try
hard.
I'm just saying, because again, in dry weather, your students love to rush your bus. I've watched it. Everybody wants to get on the bus first, so they rush the bus. Is there anything that you guys do to prepare the kids? Because again, if the roads are slippery, your bus might slide. So,
Oh, I don't want to.
they're supposed to, yes. So again, just talking to your students about stop etiquette, letting them know, especially during this weather, to stand back. Don't approach the bus until you're fully stopped and the doors are open. We don't need any accidents in that situation where it's slippery or anything like that. With that being said, Matt said earlier, we try to plow the parking lots. You know what, I have another slide for that. I'm gonna keep going. I just go back and forth. Take the bus out in snowy weather. So I know a lot of you are trying to help us out with field trips, which is great. Thank you very much. If you haven't been in a big bus lately, or never at all, except for training purposes, the buses are here. During the day, you can come in, ask Kelly for a set of keys, and you can take the bus out and just drive it. Propane, diesel, Small bus, if you wanna do a small bus, I mean, if you're usually in a big bus. But the buses are always here for you to drive, take out, okay? I've had a couple of drivers come in and ask, and it's like, the answer is yes, okay? No, it's not paid, it's on your own time, but it's for you to get comfortable behind the wheel of another vehicle. I mean, you're not gonna just jump in a car that you're gonna buy, you're gonna test drive it first. Okay, so, I would suggest, asking Kelly for a set of keys. No, it's not over, I still have my other presentation I'm going back to. If you talked to people yesterday, I really bombed that one, but I'm making better today. Okay, with that being said, we talked about being prepared, safe driving techniques, slowing down, knowing your areas, being aware that, anything could happen, drivers we don't know talk about. This is what I wanted to talk about, was the slip and fall, okay? Have in the past where we had people slipping and falling, okay? Outside, we try to salt as much as we can. If you see a slick area in the parking lot, please notify the office, notify the mechanics, notify somebody, not another driver, because they don't usually have salt in their car, I do, but let us know so we can salt it outside, okay? Also being said, rubber-soled shoes, so that we are not wearing slippery shoes outside on that ice. Getting on and off the bus, making sure that your steps are clear, making sure that everything around there is not slippery and wet and full of ick, whatever. And always using 3 points of contact when entering and exiting a bus. I know you can't control the students, but always recommending that they do the 3 points, leaving on and off the bus. If you have students that like to jump off the bus, suggest not, especially during the winter seasons when it is slippery. If you need help with parents' interaction, you can, again, saying it as a parent is by the door. Please walk down the steps. Please do not jump off the steps for your safety. Saying it over and over again. Hopefully the parent realizes that we're actually speaking to them and not just the student. If not, then you can let us know in the office and I'll be more than happy to call the parents out. No quiz, we already had our questions. Something about SPED, because we don't always talk about it, but anyway, so if your student currently wears a safety vest, or if your students currently are in a 5-point harness, they should not be wearing their coats on the bus. Let's reverse a little bit. If they're wearing the safety vest, their coat can be over the safety vest, okay? When you get on the bus, then you have 2 options. If you can visually see the hook and you can hook everything up, the coat can stay on, okay? But everything's going underneath. If you are in the 5-point, unfortunately, the coat has to come off. It cannot stay on. It was not safety tested to be a child wearing a coat. Well, I don't know. Most of us have had kids, grandkids. When they are in a car seat or a booster, they're not supposed to be in a coat either, okay? I understand that some buses are fully loaded in 5-point harnesses. We're trying to communicate. Most of my drivers yesterday, when they first found us out because they didn't know, they started telling parents and they were okay with it. I still have to call the schools and I'll help call parents so they know. They can come out in a sweatshirt, a hoodie, hat, gloves, just bring a jacket in their winter gear. Or as soon as they get on the bus, unzip it, take it off, put them in the harness. You're already buckling them up. If you have a monitor with you, they can help you, assist you in that situation. But for the safety of the students and properly using the safety securements, the coat should not be on. Is there any questions with that? Is there any, okay. If you need me to talk to your parents, let me know. Something we'll figure out, okay? Any other questions with what we were talking about? Nothing? Well, I did better than yesterday.
So you said that,
Go ahead.
with your coat on, if it's over their coat, it's okay, or you cannot?
In a safety vest, so again, it's that,
The safety vest, is that the one that?
that's the zipper up. It's zip in the back, and it's got the hooks on the shoulders, and the hooks right there behind on their lower waist. That's the safety vest. They can wear a coat over it. But if you're unable to hook them up with that coat, it's gotta come off,
Okay.
okay? If it's a big puffy coat, they can't be wearing it. I mean, you have to be able to get in there, because again, the cushion, and people keep saying, well, not all coats are puffy. They aren't, I get it. Some are tight fitted. But again, any cushion between the safety securement and the child's body, that's the gap that wasn't secured in the safety test, okay? So you got that gap right there. All right? Any other other question? And I know you're looking for a safety securement, we're working on it. So, any other questions about safety securement? That's my sped talk for today. Okay? Any other questions, we're good?
Now, they're supposed to have it
Hold on, there's a train, I can't hear you.
they're supposed to have it on before they go to class.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A student should never come to the bus without their safety vest already on. The parents are the ones who put it on, and the school is the one who's supposed to put it on. And that means every part of it. That's even the crotch strap. I went to a school last year and they didn't have the crotch strap on. That is all done by them. So,
So if they have their jacket on, I have to tell them to take it off and then we put it on.
You can lay the jacket back over them when you're all done, so they stay warm, right?
can, or you can just put your feet on your bus. If it doesn't work, let us know.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes it don't.
Mhm.
Hey, Brandy?
Yes.
What's the deciding factor between a coat and a jacket? Because
That
you said
would
they could
be,
wear like hoodies,
correct,
sweat jacket?
yeah. Like a spring jacket, like a sweater, like something thin.
So
But
thin.
not a coat or not a jacket, it's something thin.
No insulation.
Not like.
Good question, yes, good point,
Okay.
yes. So, all right, anything else? Okay,
Well, it is in.
have a good day.